Hey there, this is DJ. I am going to record a video showing off the Demon Hunter setup for power auras. So a couple of things before we dig in, a little context. One, I'm about to start Shadowlands in like a month and a half, and I change classes every time. So I'm going to play a Demon Hunter this next time around, so I'm unfamiliar with this class. This layout of buttons is something that when I leveled them, I had, so I forget what half of these are. Um, so we'll be exploring what these abilities even are in the end. Two, I'm using a Razer Tartarus, and the way it's mapped is 1 through uh, 9 are kind of wrapped this way and then back around. So it's a little confusing to see it this way, but my fingers are doing something else. It's not like, yeah, clicking up the next row doesn't hit the next ones. Um, but I've got these all on a shifted version of the same thing. So there's a wrapped row that does that, and then just above it is another wrapped row that does this. So I'm going to basically present this like they function on my mouse, so that I can correlate better visually with what the actual layout and finger position is. Two, I'm 5-boxing right now. I've got other instances of WoW up. This probably isn't really relevant to this video, but just there's a little context there. I'm going to be running around with 5 Demon Hunters. I'm only setting up the main one that the rest of them follow. I've got that all on macros and hotkey nuts, but for another video. I'm also refamiliarizing myself with power auras. I've done a bunch of setup in the past. I've forgotten most of it, so we're going to kind of go through it. I just did my pally again, but let's dig in. So first thing to do is just get my basic 1 through 5 row right here presented under my character, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 presented wrapping back around under him. So let's see what happens when I attack. I get this. I'm not real fond of this energy, whatever this fury, I guess, is the currency for Demon Hunter. My brain just filters this out. So I'm basically going to eliminate it. I'll probably come up with some better way to do Fury presentation too, maybe radially around me. And I'm probably going to cut this up into a couple videos showing off different setups. So this will probably be the longest one. I'm going to show up basic setup. In the next one, I'll set up the shifted spells, so these guys and how I present them to make sense to my brain quickly. Then basically I'm cutting up by how I lay this out. I'm going to each one of these bits I put in a different kind of chunk of my screen, with the base philosophy that is, I want to, during a raid, keep my eyes on what I'm fighting and the stuff I need to run away from and all that stuff. Without power auras, I find myself like either staring down here and ignoring what's going up in the important area, or I stay here and I just kind of spam buttons. So this is intended to lay them out, present them such that I can have dual attention. So I can both see what's going on, but have moving, highlighting, shimmering things real close to where my eye is, but slightly peripheral. So I can consume both bits of information simultaneously. That's the goal. So basic spells, shifted spells, interrupts, I usually put over me. Buffs, that'll be another video. Buffs like kind of fill up in rows here. I think one thing it's almost useless information. You just kind of know I have a lot of stuff going on or not. One thing I do is some of it comes from gear, talents, whatever. I'm going to present that such that they are chunked off into sections. So anything like haste related, mastery, speed, whatever, the different buffs will kind of represent themselves down here in my screen in groups that are slightly, like descriptive and maybe even labeled. I didn't do that before, but so that I can kind of understand better. If like all of my haste stuff is highlighted, and I got heroism up now, I need to kind of understand that and know that like, okay, we'll do bursty stuff right now. Then trinkets, again, for when I want to, I want one strategy I use to raise my DPS is to keep all my trinkets off cooldown. Basically just burn them at all times. Only hold back on them when I know like there is a thing coming up. So I want to present them kind of in a whack-a-mole fashion so that when they are ready, they are, you know, they're never just idle sitting around. They're constantly like hit and punched down. Lastly, I want to show like potions or I don't know, some other stuff is on cooldown so I know if I've got it or not without having to visually search my UI. So there is the introduction. Let's dive right in. So type /PA for power auras, brings up the interface. Let me turn down WoW's audio real quick. Okay. So let's do it. Okay, so this first spell is called Fell Rush, page 1. Let's label these. Let's call this primary spells. New. Okay. So I think you put the name in here. Fell Rush. And it's not a buff. It is action usable. That's what I want to present. So let's see if that did anything. Sometimes you have to activate it. So there it is before it'll kind of show up. Okay. So now Fell Rush is an icon. So let's make it next match the look of the button /PA to bring it back up. Okay, so this is kind of a little dumb, but you got to kind of close power to open it for it to see the icon. So let's change it to be just look like this out here in the scene as well. So let's go edit. We want it to be a WoW texture. Or no, I think you just own texture. There we go. Cool. Excellent. From there, I am going to size and position it. So let's go down. One little philosophy too that I have in this is placement, layout, size, all that. In my mind, it should follow a couple of sort of guidelines. One is the farther away from center something is, the more it has to be big and loud and opaque and moving and flashing in order for it to sort of register peripherally. So I will kind of, to give things equal weight, I will make them a little bigger the farther out they are. But starting with this one, I'm just kind of rough position. So it's going to go over, down. I'm leaving a row for the other ones. Let's make this a little bigger. Let's make it 15%. Good. Let's close it. Okay, so now that is action usable. Okay, it's no longer usable, so it's not. So I want a faint version of it when it's not usable to kind of show me, like, just be sort of a stand-in for, like, that's what's gonna appear when it's ready. So let's do that. PA. I'm going to copy it back to the same page. I'm going to edit the thing. I'm going to invert its logic so it's only when it's not usable, and then I'll make it fairly transparent. Where is opacity? Right here. It's the bar under it. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Okay, so it's up. I use it. I got another version of it. I use it again, and now it's like a faint version of itself. Killer. Next one. Throw glaive. So I basically do doubles of every single one. Sometimes it's easier and quicker. You gotta hit Control Delete here to just copy them, because then you've got the size and all that stuff built in, the inversion logic. So now let's just modify these to be the next spell. So throw glaive. This guy. And then let's make them negative 10 and position x negative, oops, negative 10. Okay. By the way, thing about Power Aura, when you click on these different ones, you don't see them. When you click one and click it again and it highlights there, then it's showing it to you out here. So you kind of need to like double click things in order to show them. Okay. So one thing about the layout, here's one thing I want to do. My because I multi-box and play a lot of characters, I try to commonize. I try to unify where sort of types of buttons are. So one is usually like opening move, or movement stuff. 2 through 4 is kind of my main spell rotation. So I sort of want between 2 and 4 to be like sort of dead center of my character, and then 1 is a little off to the side. 4 and 5 are, it's kind of like from opener, and then big moves on 4 and 5. 6 is usually an AoE thing. Shift 5 and Shift 6 is often interrupts. Put heals here, and I don't know, other random, unstun or stun stuff over there. So, given that, I want this to be a little more leftward. Let's just put it over there, 100. Oops, 86,000, no, 100. So then this next one is going to be over 1 from the middle. So let's push that guy. Let's give it a little gap. Okay, let's go 55. Close enough. And all this will get adjusted. This is kind of roughing it out. Okay, so it shows up a question mark here, 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 everywhere. Let's fix that. You basically just have to use the ability once, and then it should come to recognize it. There we are. Okay, that's working. Moving on. So number 3, this is Fell Blade. Okay, let's see. Let's bring these main ones up so you can see where they're at. Okay, edit it. Spelling of this is one word. Fellblade. Fellblade. I'm just going to close it, use it, and open it again just to get my icon right away. Let's move it over some. Let's just move it 5. See where these guys are. So I'm going to move the next one -5. All right, well, there's a little more gap, though, so let's move it over 10. That's going to leave a pretty big gap between the next one, though. I don't know. Well, that's fine. Okay, all right, it's going pretty quick. Good, excellent. Moving on. Next one, dance, blade dance. So select it, copy. Spelling, 2 words, blade dance. Close it, use it, bring it back up, edit it. So the other one was -10. I was thinking this one would be +10, but that is not exactly right. Okay. So we want these two to be equally spread, so they should be the same number, positive and negative. So that's about the right distance, but this one's 35 and that's 10. So we need to shove it half of the difference. So 25 to halved is 12. So let's just go, let's see if 20, 20, this one, -20, -20. Okay, that works. I kind of want them to have a little bit of a bigger gap, so let's go 25. This one's going to go 25. Okay, so there's left and right of center, the 3 and 4 buttons. So now we can kind of take it from there. So, okay, 25. All right, good. So this one should be 50, or no, 75. So 25 plus 50. That'll make the same gap, I believe. Yeah. Okay, and then this one, 150. No, that's too far, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go 125. Okay, cool. Next up, there is this guy, Chaos Strike. Okay, that's kind of finisher. So take this one, copy, paste, blah, blue. There we go. Show it. Let's move it over an extra to 75. Select that guy. 75. Change the name. Chaos Strike, 2 words. Close it, activate it. I guess I need to build up some. So this costs 40 Fury. Okay, so Fellblade is what generates Fury for me. So it costs 15, it's cost 40. Max 2 charges. This does neither. So Throwglaive is kind of an opening ranged attack. So that's kind of my opener. And then I get it, and I Fellblade, build up Fury, and then I spend it on Blade Dance. And looking at the damages, so this first one is 1500, that's pretty low. Fellblade is 3000-ish, that is twice the damage of that guy. This one is 6400, that's twice the damage of Fellblade, so that's a much bigger one. And it also is kind of AoE-ish. Other nearby enemies get 2700. And then 5 is 3500. So that's smaller damage than Blade Dance. 40% chance of refund. So I think you kind of want to just go back and forth between these two. They're your sort of heaviest hitters. And if you got nothing else to do, blow some time on that. Something like that. There's my basic rotation. Okay, opening it back up. So now we see Chaos Strike. There we go. Okay, it's not all showing up in the right places. I don't have 2 faint ones here. And this looks like the right icon. Okay, so that one goes to its faint version. This looks like it's got other stuff behind it. Let's make sure that these 2 alternates have been moved over. So if the position of this is 25, oh, negative 25, I messed that up, didn't change it. And this one, if it is 75, this one should also be positive 75. Okay. I want them to be a little bigger. One thing I do usually too is put some extra treatment on the one that is the rotation order. It has rotation order primacy, so pretty much I should read Icy Veins or something, but I think you want basically to be casting Blade Dance all you can. And then between Fellblade, which is just 3,000, and this one, which is 3,500, you want to be generating Fury. So I don't know which has priority there, but that's something that can be emphasized too. Okay. All right, so let's wrap them around now. So now number 6, we'll derive from that, and we'll just move it up. Okay, so this guy, copy, paste, great. Name of this, Immolation Aura. It's important to spell it right. Let's close it. I can't cast it yet, but I got it anyway. Good. And let's move it up. So all this previous stuff was at 251. Let's show some of them so that we can do that. Okay, that looks. We need a little gap in here because we're going to present the upper stuff as little like side ones off the edge. So let's go a little higher on this guy. Okay, and bear with me for a moment. I'm going to bring up a an image of another setup I have so I can kind of get close to it. Oops, wrong folder. Okay. Docs. All right. Bear with me. Okay, so here's a sort of a complete setup of what my paladin looks like. So here's row 1, a little bigger, row 2, a little smaller, and then the top row stuff just sort of off of it. So these are the shifted versions of each of these buttons, and then here's the reach stuff and the shifted versions of them. Here's my trinket. Here's my interrupts, and again, the farther out stuff is. So here's like the closest pair. This is middle, a little farther out, and this is at the way top. So it gets bigger the farther out it is. I use these for protection or shielded stuff. This is there to present my paladin, whatever energy currency stuff, holy power. So this is the jumping off point. So comparing it to what we have now, let me make it about the same size. So we've got these ones are bigger than this. The second row is about the same size as the icon. So we'll make these a little bigger. We'll make that. That's about right. All right. Where did this guy go? Oh, it's not there because I haven't double clicked it. Okay, so let's put these guys. I think we're going to need a little bit more of a gap between these two. So we'll lower these a bit, make them slightly bigger. I think that's a good position for this guy. Let's make sure these are matched up. So 189, let's just kind of round it to negative 190. 190, come on. I could do it. Okay. On we go. So now we're going to just kind of circle back around. Copy there. Next one, copy there. Next one is blur, increases your dodge chance. So that's like a protection thing since I don't have a heal exactly on this character. Blur. close it, activate it, go back in. Excellent. We'll move it over. We'll keep with the same horizontal offsets. So if this guy set was 75, the next one over was 25, I believe. Wait. Oh, both of those were. So this one was 25, so we'll do that as well here, 25. Good. And then let's just continue on. We'll make these negative 25. These ones are called Nether Walk, slips into the nether, increasing movement speed and becoming immune to damage. So that's another sort of protection set. On my Pally, my 8 and shifted 8 are like the save me ones, but we'll leave them here for now. So Nether Walk. Close it, open it. Let's move it. So this one's going to go to negative 25. Oh, did I already get this one? Okay. All right, moving on. Next one, copy, paste, copy, paste. This will just be 75, 75. We have honorable medallion removes movement pairing effects. It's a PvP talent. I'll probably move that around, but we're just going to stick with it for now. So honorable medallion. Copy the name, paste it. 75. Okay, can't really use it. Okay, so this should be negative 75, I believe. Okay, good. One last one. Also, I have a little gap over here. You can't see the hammer of justice very well in here. It's pretty faint, but there's a little gap between the 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 1 number, so we'll do that too. We'll shove the 1 over a little bit. So let's give it an extra 20. So we'll push this to 45 just to isolate it a bit. Let's go a little further. 155. Oop, way too. Okay. So we are back around to 0. Spectral sight allows you to see enemies and treasures through barriers. I don't know. Let's probably move that too, but let's just stick to our guns for now. I don't know if I did the right one there, so let's kill that. So copy, paste, select it, copy, paste. Edit, negative 155, negative 155, and this is called spectral sight. Copy it, paste. Okay, so there is the very basics. Outside of the video, I'll move and size and do a little bit of adjustments before I do part two, where we set up the secondary ones. Skip that one if you want and move on to the buffs and uh, so here you can faintly see the buff sets and the interrupts. These are protection things. Uh, So I'm going to cover the shifted versions for the top row in the next video. Skip that if you want, and then get to the other juicy stuff. The next one will be pretty much the same as what I just did. All right, this is DJ. Talk to you guys soon.